subscribe to our videos so that more people can hear the Word of God.
Good morning and welcome to 5 Minutes a Day with God, and welcome to Tuesday. So we had just finished the story, the healing of the man at the pool of Bethesda. And so Jesus kind of disappears from the scene, so he probably doesn't want confrontation or a mob bombarding him. And so there the man is going, and he has his mat with him. And so let's look at what happens next. So there's going to be controversy because, remember, this is the day of the Sabbath. So John 5:10-15. And so, let's see. The day, actually, we'll look at 9b. The day on which this took place was a Sabbath. And so the Jewish leaders said to the man who had been healed, "It is the Sabbath. The law forbids you to carry your mat." But he said, "The man who made me well said to me, 'Pick up your mat and walk.'" So they asked him, "Who is this fellow who told you to pick it up and walk?" The man who was healed had no idea who it was, for Jesus had slipped away into the crowd that was there. Later, Jesus found him at the temple and said to him, "See, you are well again. Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you." The man went away and told the Jewish leaders that it was Jesus who had made him well. All right. Okay, so what I always think is kind of comical here with the Pharisees, and we'll see this in other healings too, is here is this man, and he's been invalid for 38 years. So most likely people knew him, right? They knew who the disabled people were, right? And so here they see him, and he's carrying his mat, and they don't say, "Wow, you can walk," but they say, "Why are you carrying your mat? Don't you know it's Sabbath?" So again, the religious leaders are focusing on the wrong thing. They're not focused on the fact that here is this man who couldn't walk for 38 years, but now he is able to walk, right? If we saw like our friend who's disabled walking down the street, we'd probably say, "Wow, what happened to you? This is so amazing. This is so great," right? And instead of, you're breaking the law by walking, right? You're carrying your mat. And so that was, so we'll see that Jesus is going to have several of these interactions with the Jewish leaders, because Jesus was all about healing people physically and spiritually. And so it was more important for him to do that, to meet the need, than he was keeping the spirit of the Sabbath instead of the law of the Sabbath. So here Jesus, he finds him later at the temple, and Jesus focused on the spiritual thing, right? He says, "Go and sin no more," right? Now you are free. You're completely healed. Go and sin no more. But what's interesting here, or interesting to note, is the man. So then it's probably most likely that the Jewish leaders found the man again, right? And so now the man who knew who Jesus was, and basically he gave him up, right? He says it was Jesus who healed him. So we don't know about this man's faith. Maybe he was pressured by, he was pressured by the religious leaders, and he gave in, right? Because again, you have to remember that the religious leaders had a lot of power. It wasn't the separation of church and state, right? They had a lot of power within them. And so he was probably intimidated by them. And he also probably didn't understand quite what was happening. And so we don't know his heart, or he was wanting to, or he was willing to give Jesus up to save himself, right? But so now we're going to see an interaction between Jesus and the religious leaders. So we'll do that tomorrow. Have a good day, and remember, 5 minutes in the Word can change your life.